Hi everybody, this is James with Vamp the Lost Soul. Just to pre-warn you guys, we're just doing the advertisements. Well, this is the advertisement now, so if you don't see this, it's fine. But yeah, just to warn you guys, I am live now, so if you want to share this, please share this. When I start doing all the chatter and that, we can begin the live draw. So please wait and listen to this lovely music as we're waiting. Please wait for a few more minutes. We will be live shortly. Please feel free to share while you are waiting. Thank you for your patience, guys. Just a quick reminder, I will be reminding you again as we're about to start. I do have a contest running. It will be ending in 2 days, guys. So if you really want to enter, now's the time, because it's going to end at the 20th of May. And winner will be announced by July the 5th. So get ready, guys. Thank you. Just wait for a few more minutes. We will be getting started shortly. We will be getting ready really soon, so please get prepared, guys. Thank you very much. we'll be getting ready really soon. Morning guys, we do try to keep this PG-13 show, but due to our sense of humour, some parts will go at 18+. So if you are easily offended, just keep that in mind. We are only discussing the topic at hand, and we're only messing around. Because we don't want to target anyone. Because we hate, we love everybody the same, including ourselves. So please enjoy the show. Remember guys, I'm sponsored by Life Costs. I believe they're changing their name soon, so once I get the name and all that, I will be putting it down below. So the link's down below if you want to check out his previous works. A lot of it's going to be moving over to the new name. Also, music provided by Enquire Within. Disclaimer, I do not own the music provided by the bands. They're provided to me by the bands themselves to have to promote their works. So please support their official releases and check them out at the links down below. Also guys, the contest is literally 2 days away, so if you want to enter it, now's the time. Go on my Facebook page, Vamp the Lost Soul by James Raven, or Instagram, Vamp the Lost Soul, to find out more information. All the post is there, and use the hashtag VTLS Olympus 2019 to enter, and tag my page, the Cookie Club page, or the Olympus Creators page. You should be entered easily then. By the way guys, if you want to support Volume Vamp the Lost Soul in general, we got books. I've got 2 books out at the moment based on my original series, volumes 1 and 2. 3 will be coming out midsummer to early August. Early fall for America and early autumn for the UK and European parts of the world that wants to read this. You could also get it on Amazon now. Volume 3 will be again coming out soon at that round about that time. Also, I have a Patreon. If you just want to support the live draws, it's fine. The link is there down below. All the links down below, including my website. So sign up now to get some cool benefits on Patreon. Anyways, guys, we're going to put the VTS theme song now, and we're going to be sharing a little bit more, and then we'll be live. See you soon.
Used to be
Hi everybody, this is James from Vamp. I have Bo Echo Lengthy here today from Echoville/Bo Echo Arts. I think I got it right. Say hello.
Hello.
Hello. And we're going to put some quiet background music on as we talk. Because, you know, this channel's gone through a few improvements since you last been on here. Or
yeah,
had
it's been a while.
Yeah, because you were on my YouTube channel last when we did all this. I'm surprised you couldn't get on the live chat because they should allow special guests to be on there. So
yeah, it just said that it was locked, but I'm not the best tech savvy person when it comes to Discord and such. I'm rarely ever on.
Fair enough, but I'll put you on special guest role now, so hopefully in the future we should be able to get you on there. So onto the private chat, but we'll make it general. See anyone pops in and says hello, you know, and all that fun stuff. So today is going to be background week, so we're going to do Bexleyheath Shopping Centre where the Bounty Hunter arc is going down at the moment. So yes, a real life place I'm drawing today. Woo. But yeah, how's everything, Bo, by the way?
Yeah, all good. Yeah, it's been a hectic few months, if I'll be honest. But
okay,
yeah, all going good with the artwork. I'm getting married within the next few months, so obviously there's a lot of like wedding preparation stuff going on.
Oh god, you're getting married too. Jesus, when do you get married?
Yeah, getting married end of August.
All us artists getting married at the same time, eh?
Yeah.
Oh god.
So obviously you know how it is, like all of the wedding prep and stuff. It takes a lot of time, but
yeah, it's the little stuff that creeps up though.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Always the little things. Oh,
I mean, we're pretty much there now. We've got a few things left, but obviously that takes prior over anything else. Then
oh god, yeah.
You've got work, then you've got art. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the summer. There's a lot of conventions, a lot of shows happening. So
nice.
well, yeah, like I said, like I'm not the most tech savvy of people, so for me, like the going to the events and seeing people face to face, like that's kind of one thing more than the trying to keep updated with social media and such. I'm terrible with, as all of my followers know.
Yeah, I know. Like I've been trying to improve my social media presence of late. But yeah. I'm not the best. I'm trying to schedule my videos because I'm not sure if you noticed my channel's gone through a few changes lately as well. Now it has speed draws in them.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, that's I have to admit that was a difficult transition to make, but I need to nail that sort of when I'm going to be posting it and stuff like that. I'm trying to post every Wednesday, but it always goes tits up and I keep forgetting.
Well, it was like what you were saying about that the video that you'll be compiling together about and how it works. Like a lot of the time, like most people, myself included, when you think that you want to be like a manga artist or a digital concept artist or whatever, you really think about just the artistic ability more than anything. But then there's so much in a process after that. Like you do the artwork and then you've got to share it to your audience. You've got to do the right hashtags. You've got to find the right printers and the companies.
Yeah.
So there's like such a long-winded process after to actually get that artwork out to the right people or onto the correct media.
Yeah.
And it's just finding a balance. Like it's always a learning curve. I realised, I was saying to Chris the other day, my colleague said that this May will be our 5-year anniversary going solo without the publishing company.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, but. Since we've gone such a long way, like in the last 5 years, just different companies that we use and different ways that you do things. So I think it's a complete learning curve anyway, and everyone's got their own different angles. So
true. It is hard to find because I think I'm still yet to find my angle yet. So like
I don't know. Like I feel like it goes back to social media and such. Like my YouTube is at the moment pretty much non-existent because whenever I do the live streams, I tried a few of them, but I always found that I was most productive when the screen wasn't. I don't know if that's like just a pressure watching and therefore something interesting is. I have artwork is odd line art and stuff, but it's never like the coming together.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Like, for me, though, it's not distracting myself with trying to talk to people is the problem with me. The problem with me is, and I have to admit this, I'll drum up a conversation by myself and try to get audience to interact. And then when no one's interacting, and when I'm trying to really focus on a certain piece of artwork, then I go really quiet. And I know I've got to keep entertaining as I go, if you get what I mean.
Yeah, and I think I'm terrible at that, to be honest. I think and this is what we were saying about going back to like social media and such. When you've been doing art for however many years, and the way that you draw is, you know, the way that I do it is, I'll be doing my draft work, and as soon as I found something that I'm like, do you know what, this is the piece I'm gonna go with this. I crank up the music, put my headphones on.
Oh yeah.
Put like a 3-hour playlist on, and just completely like zone out and get it. So now when it gets to this stage where obviously things like YouTube and such are more predominant and live streams, it's difficult for me to step out of it, because that's what makes my artwork more progressive, is having that inspiration, that influence in the background. So,
well, can I recommend you an app? Because I've got an app that gives free copyright music that we're playing right now in the background. I'm not sure if you can hear it.
I've got the chat muted so I can hear you.
Yeah, that's fine.
If that makes sense, just so I don't have like double voices.
That's fine. There's a program called Pretzel where it's copyrighted free music. And,
gotcha. And
literally, a lot of it's actually really good, because I just put metal, and it's like metal, but it's like gaming music metal.
Oh,
because there's a lot of things that kind of remind me of a lot of tracks. So
yeah, I think like music is a massive inspiration when it comes to doing art.
And the it helps focus as well.
Yeah, and do you find that like my preferred music that I listen to on a day-to-day basis is typically like rock, a bit of metal, a bit of pop rock, that kind of genre. But when I'm doing artwork, it's always completely different. It's completely different music. I don't know if that's like because of whatever I'm illustrating is of like a different nature.
Yeah, you need to have the mood.
Stuff, or
yeah, I do actually, because funnily enough, when I'm doing it, I'll listen to a mix of stuff. But when I'm trying to think about, like, even on the way to work, if I'm trying to think about storyline of VTLS and what to change in that, I listen to J-Rock or like Amelie stuff, like related to anime, just to get my mind in that mindset. If you get what I mean.
Do you know, I'm glad you said that, because I don't listen to too much. You know, I don't really know like the names of like J-Rock or like K-pop artists or anything like that.
Yeah, because they'll kind of switch out quite a bit.
Well, I don't have as much knowledge in that kind of area, but I've got like so into like things like the K-pop and like I don't know what it is about it, but like
they kind of mix their genres up more.
Yeah, it's such a good energy, and it's although it's not as dark and gloomy as kind of like both of our stories are quite like dark, and but there's something about that.
Oh, I don't know. Future Diary is quite dark. And well, quite dark, and obsessiveness of one of the themes, I think.
Yeah.
Please marry me, senpai.
Like, we listen to when we're doing when you're doing artwork and such. Like, I don't really listen to dubstep ever, but sometimes I'm doing like a really long piece that I'm going to be sitting at the desk for, you know, like 8 hours straight or something.
Yeah.
And I'll put on like a 10-hour long chill step or vocal chill step.
Oh, fair enough.
And it's never even really my style, but they're saying about maybe it's because I know that I don't have to reset the track every 2 minutes or change.
Oh, true. Which is quite annoying to do.
Yeah, the fact that it's just on in the background and I can kind of lose track of time and everything is quite.
And then just enjoy it. Yeah, I get that vibe. Sometimes you just want to
radio vibe.
Yeah. Hold on. I'm just practicing perspective today as well, because I know one of my fattest weaknesses is backgrounds. So lately, I'm not sure. Yeah, sorry.
Preaching the choir on that. My biggest weakness is probably backgrounds or perspective, or both actually.
Yeah. Well, because it comes hand in hand, doesn't it?
Yeah.
When you do backgrounds, it's very hard to do. I'm not sure if you've seen some of my art lately on backgrounds. Like, I've been really kind of like pushing myself lately and just gone, right, I need to really improve on this if I need to get anywhere with this.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing as well. Like, it's so easy to, you know, like when you're drawing as a kid, and if you can't draw hands or feet, you'd always cover them, or the hands would be in the pockets or something like that. It's the same thing with backgrounds. It's a case of going, oh, you know, I'm not really good at this, so I'm not going to take the risk of doing something that might make the image look bad.
Yeah, exactly.
But really, the best thing to do is dive into it, and I'm probably my worst critic because I'm saying this, and actually I'm terrible at doing it myself.
Yeah.
especially in the digital world, like you can make mistakes and you can do it on separate layers, and there's not really, you know, you've not ruined hours.
Fuck
and
for
hours
that.
we're so fortunate to have stuff like digital art at the moment. Cause
Oh god, yeah.
we're, like, really blessed that we kind of grew up in this generation that has it. Because
oh god,
go back, you know, like even go back about 15, 20 years, it's practically, well, I wouldn't say non-existent, but nowhere near as mainstream as it is now.
Oh no. Like, and I remember back in the day, people used to get well snobby about it as well. Like, oh, did you create it yourself? Yes, it's just a different format. It's the same thing I'm doing, just a completely different format.
It was like less known being digital, yeah, and it didn't necessarily look. Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah,
I don't think I got my first tablet until I was probably I don't know. I probably left home. I was probably about 22, so it's probably only about 6 years ago that I even started doing digital.
Yeah, so
maybe a little bit longer than that, 6 to 8 years, something like that. So
yeah, but like I say, back then,
I put pencil to paper and I can't do it.
Yeah, I had to admit, I could still put pencil to paper because I kind of like make myself practice, if you get what I mean. But
yeah,
and plus,
what I'm doing at the moment, I don't know if you've seen like the new headshots and stuff that I've had on Instagram.
No, I haven't yet.
Not work. So I kind of uploaded them all within a very short amount of time. So because I basically I sat down on like I had 2 days off in a row, and I basically ploughed out like so much artwork. It was like 3 digital pieces, like 15 black and white images, and I was so shocked. I never get that much artwork done. But the idea was that I wanted to like practice more with pencil and just keeping like getting used to it. Like a lot of the time when I go to Comic-Con, I get like muscle cramps and like all these spasms, and it's because my hand is so used to not putting pressure on the pen when you're drawing on a computer that when I draw by hand and I'm sitting there drawing for like 10 hours straight, my my hand is like, what's going on, what is this? So I'm trying to just get like the muscles almost like used to that, because most of the time, especially like my work, there's not really any need to do that. So
essentially, you're trying to get your hand to man up, like man up, hand.
Yeah, so used to, you know, I put a tiny bit of pressure, and that will thicken the pen stroke on, you know, my apps and stuff. And I feel like you're almost told not to put too much pressure when you're drawing, and then when it's the other way around, I don't know, to get it accurate, you're almost tensing your hand all the time.
See, I have to admit, I'm quite grateful for the Cintiq tablet I have, so I can actually concentrate on pressure. I love this.
Is that what tablet you're using now?
Yeah, the Cintiq 13-inch screen. It's like a second screen, but touchscreen. It is my baby.
How much that cost?
Actually, yes, £600. It was actually a bargain.
That's not bad.
Yeah,
that's really good.
If you get it off for a Comic-Con, definitely recommend a get. So, or try to get it discounted somewhere.
Yeah, I've tested out. I don't know what models they were, but I tested out a couple of flashy models at NCM, and I think it's the one thing I've got when I went from digital, it was all learning to draw where you're not drawing, if that makes sense. Like you draw on the tablet, you look on the screen. Yeah,
I can't get that. Like when you gave me your tablet, my brain couldn't function with it. Like I was like, I'm trying to draw.
Now I'm worried with those tablets. Like it's the other way around. It's you're drawing straight onto the screen, aren't you? So
yeah, but you can configure it to do the same thing as well.
Oh, can you?
Yes, you can configure it to do the same thing. Because when I first got this, it was configured like the tablet you gave me. So even though I had a screen,
bamboo, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. I've still got it now actually as an emergency tablet in case anything goes wrong.
No, it's such a handy backup. Like I had a couple of problems with like leads with my one, which is the Intuos, and I have another version of the Wacom Bamboo, which I think was probably the one that I had when I gave you the other one.
Yeah.
So obviously I've got like a newer one since, but that I keep that as a backup just in case, because it's such a handy piece. And when you get stuff with Wacom, like although they're all different, they all kind of function the same way. So if you get the same product, like it's not that you have to like reteach yourself how to do something.
Exactly, which is fantastic. But I seriously, I would recommend a Senti, especially for you. I think this would give you miles of stuff.
Can I just ask, with the program you're using, is this a version of Manga Studio?
Clip Studio, yes, EX.
Yeah, I was going to say, it looks very similar to the one that I used.
Yeah.
There's a couple of differences, and that's why I thought it might be a different version of what I've got.
Yeah, so, because I use both Photoshop and, I should say Clip now, because they don't call itself Manga Studio anymore for some reason. But yeah, there they changed to clip. It's clip now. Because basically all comic artists use it now. It's not just for manga anymore. Even though it's predominantly for manga, but yeah. But anyways, just Bo, you said we were talking about the art theory video actually, which hopefully will be as soon as I get your clip, I can finish it. I've realised I can finish it as soon as I get your clip. So, well, apart from doing the analysis and stuff like that afterwards, but yeah.
Yeah, that sounds good, man.
I'll tell you what's really surprising, without spoiling the video too much. Like, a lot of people said a lot of problems with getting out there is to do with copyright on YouTube.
Right, okay.
That is... someone went, oh yeah, because of the copyright thing. So basically, because obviously the algorithm, if someone's making a claim, your video doesn't get out there as much. So... Because obviously
every platform now has got its own very, complicated algorithms to how everything works. And I think, again, this is what I was saying about earlier about it's not really just drawing. You've got to kind of like learn loads of different sorts of the trade. And one of them is really like learning how each algorithm works and how you can use that.
Yeah. I can't do that. It's too complicated for my brain, actually, admittedly. I've tried to understand it.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah. Like, I try to understand what people are trying to talk about, but you have to, like, from what I gathered, you have to go with what's popular at the time. And for me, I find that impossible to get along with. Yeah.
Yeah, like, I don't change the artwork that I do for the sake of popularity or anything like that. I'll always be having that in mind. Most of the time, the artwork that you see that goes on my social media probably started a few months ago anyway, so I could never really do something that is like unless on trend, for example. Because a lot of the time I've got artwork that's been on and off the desk a couple of times, and I eventually get around to like kind of getting it done.
See, personally for me, like, unless I'm really into it personally, like when Pokemon Sword and Shield got announced, then I did an episode on that.
So excited.
Yeah, because the announcement fell on the week of the crossover week. I was like, yes, I've got an excuse. But yeah, did you see that artwork?
Have you seen the new film? Yeah, I did. Yeah, have you seen the Detective Pikachu film?
Yes. See,
so good.
I have to admit, like, my honest review, and this is going to be a little controversial. I loved the film. I think it's worth a watch once, but to me, it wasn't as good as it's shown on the trailer.
I think the thing with Warner Bros is they like to show
the best bits too soon.
Bits.
Yeah,
they entice people in, but actually, I mean, the thing that fascinated me was there's a lot of things. There are no spoilers in this review anyway.
No,
there were a lot of things that were off camera or out of focus.
Yeah,
and the amount of detail that went into fully developing like this Pokemon and animating it and everything, and then only to have it kind of like just out of frame was brilliant, because they didn't make a point of being like, put a Bulbasaur right in the middle of the screen, put a Squirtle in the middle of the screen. Look, we're just going to emphasize like how much work we've done on the animating. They went, we animated a few hundred. We're just gonna, they're all over the place. You don't have to see them all.
Yeah, exactly. I have to admit, that's the bit I will praise them on. The designs, they fucking nailed, I think.
Yeah, and it's a lot of pressure as well. Like, Pokemon movies are about 20 years old now.
Yeah.
And you're looking at probably us as being like some of the older fans out of the generation.
Yeah.
But everyone's grown up at some point, with
Pokemon,
thinking, what would they look like if they were real?
Yeah.
And I've always had. I was mentioning this last night actually to my fiance, saying that obviously my favourite Pokemon's Bulbasaur, which we all know from the trailers. Like there are clips of Bulbasaurs.
Rachel cooed over them.
But what I found was a lot of the time, you got these people that do like realistic artwork of characters, and I know a lot of like CGI artists that make their own like 3D models of them. And whenever it gets to Bulbasaur, it's probably a bias because it is my favourite one, and in my head I had like an image of how it should look.
Yeah.
They always make it look like too froggy or too reptilian or scaly.
Yeah, when it's more plant-like.
Really comes out. I always feel like slightly disappointed when I see, and it always comes down to like the original is always going to be better.
Yeah.
But this film,
they stuck quite faithfully.
Like the expectation. Yeah, do you know what? Like it was better than I could have, if I could have tried my best to create what I would have imagined, and probably the same for many other people with their fan favourites. Very difficult to actually get that nail on the head for every.
Oh god, yeah. I agree on this like wholeheartedly. Like, one bit I will praise that film for is the design aspect. I think it's been really good. For me, the story was a little predictable because when you're a writer, you kind of, unless they really give you like a high tail, you kind of see a lot of it coming. If you get what I mean.
Yeah, I feel like I kind of analyze things. That's all. I mean, it's probably Marvel's probably done this to me actually, to be honest.
Yeah.
But, the MCU, because I will kind of like analyze where I think the film will be going.
Yeah.
But
so
there was
your writer's brain, I call it, kicks off.
Yeah, you can't really switch off. But I feel like
Yeah.
there was a lot of stuff in the film that were surprises. But I think the general story, we kind of knew roughly where the story was going.
But
I think it's amazing. I think it's an amazing step forward. They've done so much in the last 2 years.
And if you think about, compared to other gaming movies where and this is not being horrible, like the Assassin's Creed movie looked really awesome in the trailers, but they cocked it up big time as me as an AC fan.
I think that there's two things that really people go by, and it is how accurate things, like how good things look in the films. Assassin's Creed, Prince of Persia, those kind of films, like aesthetically they look good, and if you're not a fan of the franchise and you watch that film, it's probably a pretty decent film. The second one, which is most of the time skipped out on, is how accurate it is to the source material. And I think a lot of people don't realise about, us kind of geeks, gamers, nerds and such, is that the source material is so important.
Yeah, you gotta respect it. Oh
That,
god, Dragon Ball Evolution!
There's so many things that, Dragon Ball Evolution is a brilliant example. If you watch that and you're not into Dragon Ball, that it's probably, I'd imagine, a pretty decent film. And I had a lot of friends that said that was a good film, but it wasn't a good Dragon Ball film. And that's because the things that make that it's kind of like you've read a blurb of what the show's about, taking your keywords, Dragon Ball this, blah blah blah.
Everyone knows Dragon Ball though.
Yeah, and it's kind of like throwing those aspects into the film without really taking in what made the show have that fan base in the first place.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think that's what they did with Pokemon. They went, oh, we've got hundreds and hundreds that we can choose from, and really, what is the main goal? And do you know what? Like, battle-wise, there's not really a lot of battles, but actually, I wasn't that hard done by, because when I saw, two Pokemon fighting or about to fight or some tension or whatever, it got you more excited because you hadn't really seen a full-blown battle with these kind of like CGI characters. So, I think they did a really good job, and I think it's sticking to the source material. They worked closely with the Pokemon company as well, so they had people that have actually designed those characters and actually a say in how these characters should look and sound. Having those people on board instead of just going, oh, we're going to Hollywood this film, and don't worry, we're not going to go to the original sources and find out, what really makes this tick. We're just going to take it, pump it through, and make some money. So I'm glad that they did try to stay as true as they could to the fans. I think some of the stuff fans might not be as happy as what their favourite Pokemon looks like, but
but I think they've done absolutely well considering everything. I think we could turn around and I could say they stuck quite faithfully to it.
Yeah, and I think that's what separates it from things like, like the Sonic trailer that came out.
Oh god.
The Sonic trailer, like, and again, like we can look at this and go for the 2 points and go. The first point, okay, it looks, aesthetically it looks good. You've got like hair fibers, and it looks like it kind of belongs within that world. It doesn't look like the shading and shadows are necessarily that bad. From like,
I don't know. I think Sonic's design overall looked very. I don't know. It's like like when you watch a really bad CGI movie.
Yeah.
To me, it just didn't fit in. It was like.
But again, I think that comes down to source material, and it's because we know what Sonic looks like and what he should look like.
Yeah.
That it just doesn't look like he fits in. But for someone that doesn't watch Sonic or know Sonic or anything about it, if they see that film, I suppose it's probably no different to any other film that has like a CGI'd character in it.
True, and they're doing a redesign of Sonic now, aren't they? Because the fan base, usually.
Yeah, and do you know what? Like, it's probably quite frustrating because animators that worked on this show,
film and
production, for example, it would have gone through some sort of big boss at some point. I don't think it's necessarily the designer's fault.
No, I think it's just a big.
I don't think it's the animator's fault at all, because they're given a template and they go with it and they work with what they've got.
Yeah.
But every step would have got approved by someone, and that someone obviously kind of just went, yeah, we've got this file, like that looks alright, this looks okay, that looks good.
I'm sure it won't annoy the fans.
Yeah, and I think it was really like taking that pride, like what they did with Pokemon, and really challenging it and pushing it and saying like, no, do you know what, we can design this better, we can make this look better, there's more we can do with this.
Oh yeah, I think that's the approach they should have gone with, like, in the first place, really. Honestly, like, for me, it was just like, yeah, I could see why the fans backlash big time, honestly.
But also, hats off to them for going, do you know what?
Yeah, we messed up.
We're going to redesign this, because actually a lot of companies, and a lot of movie productions, they don't do that. They go, oh, you don't like this? Well, it's already in production. Tough.
Yeah.
So the fact that they're going, yeah, do you know what? You're
right.
This is what you guys think. We're gonna work to it.
Yeah, I have to admit, I will give them props on that, because I think that was a real... Actually, I'd say it's quite a brave thing to do. But, like...
Especially with a deadline.
Yeah. Well, the fans said, just take your time on it. Like, don't... Even, like, I'm not sure, did you see that artwork with lots of different Sonics?
Well, I follow a few artists on Instagram that have done their own versions of Sonic, and some of them look amazing.
Oh, yeah.
It just makes you think, these people, I know, art is their day job for a lot of them anyway, but since seeing that trailer to this point, it's quite a short time. Yeah. And within that time, if they could have created something like that, then I'm sure, all of these animators that are working on the film could easily replicate or do something close to that.
See, I'm surprised Sega didn't do the same thing like they did with Sonic Mania. Let's just go, alright, you create some really good ROMs before. Let's see what you could do with this, basically.
Yeah.
I'm really surprised they didn't do that, because, I mean, come on, like, you got loads of fan artists out there that probably got the skills to do it. I was really surprised.
Down to technicalities, it's probably quite difficult if you've already got a team that are working on it to be like, oh, you guys aren't doing this now. When a lot of those people, it's probably not, especially like animators, for example.
Oh, I've just meant in the first place in general.
Oh, in the first place?
Yeah. I mean, that's what Sega did with Sonic Mania. They just went, you created a few decent ROM hacks.
Oh, you broke up a little bit.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Hello?
Hello? Hello? Hold on, let me check my mic levels. Just to check if it's working. My mic's working. Can you hear me? Hello? 1 2 1 2. Can you hear me? Oh, and I did it in caps. Sorry about that. I think we've lost him, folks. Hello? Yeah, because the green's going up and I can't hear him, so I'm guessing he's got disconnected. So I'm gonna give him a few minutes and see what happens. So, oh, hold on, I can hear some movement. Hello. Hello. Hello.
Hello?
I can hear tapping. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I think you might have lost connection there for a little bit.
Sure, what happened? I thought my headset's broken.
I was standing there, like, I was checking my audio, and like my audio's fine, and it was like,
on that note, give me 2 minutes. I'll just be back. 1 sec.
Okay. We're going to be just carrying on this. So, as you can see, I've changed up how the Bexleyheath Shopping Centre, like, that's actually inside photo of the Bexleyheath Shopping Centre, and I've obviously been there. So, I've changed it up a little bit to be more faithful to Volume 2s and 3, because obviously...
I'm back.
Hello, welcome back.
Hello. Just needed to get a drink.
Yeah, fair enough. I have to admit, that's why I got a big bottle of water on me, just to keep my whistle clean and in check.
So what shows are you doing this year?
I'm going to be just doing MCM because at the moment I'm focusing on me getting married as well. So yeah, I'm getting married too.
What MCM are you doing? Are you doing the
October one? Yeah.
Yeah. I love that show.
I always do October. Though last time, actually, I've got to tell you about something. You know that Pokemon 3D fan artist?
Which one? Sorry.
That fan artist that got really popular with his 3D Pokemon.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I met him last year.
The realistic ones.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And my mate Matt, like, he was a nice guy and everything. Don't get me wrong, but my mate got quite angry with him because you're not really supposed to sell fan art, are you? And it did cost me sales a lot of the time. And yeah, go on.
No, go on. Sorry.
Because it's not like, you know, you got lots of original stuff and you got a few little bits here and there, which is all right. But this guy was completely 3D Pokemon tickets. I'm not sure if he had a contract to work with Nintendo or something, but
I'm not sure, but there are a lot of grey areas when it comes to things like fan art because,
yeah,
I mean, in his aspect, you can argue that he's completely 3D rendered these animals that just look like Pokemon, for example. If we're talking about the same guy that I think we're talking about,
yeah, because he goes there quite often. I think
there is a lot of kind of grey areas when it comes to things like that because he's not kind of drawn them as they are. He's done something that's takes like a lot of hours to produce something that looks very realistic, and it just so happens to, you know, if that was a different color, then you wouldn't think that was a Charmander or you know whatever example.
Yeah, but I think that's the problem is, but I have to admit a lot of it was quite blatantly obvious, but and I get it because I'm actually going to do a art theory episode on it. Because where I stand is, if you're commissioned to do it, or you're doing it like, you know, you're sending it out to public to free to view and stuff like that. For me, I think that's fine. But as soon as you start trying to sell it mainstreamly, like through cons and that's where I'm a bit of a about that, because you're making money off somebody else's property, if you get what I mean.
Yeah, I think it depends how close it is to the original character design.
Yeah.
Whether it actually counts as, because you know you've got, I can't really think of an example off the top of my head, but if you've got like an anime girl character, and the only defining feature is their haircut, by drawing a girl that has that haircut, does it mean that it's that character, or does it mean that it just do you see what I mean? Like sometimes
it is.
I mean, Pokemon is a very different subject. But you know what I mean. If you've got a character that has, you know, their one defining feature is used in another drawing, is that, you know, sometimes coincidence or?
I think that does come down to coincidence, but when it's blatant, what I mean is proper blatant fan art. Like last year there was a lot of Steven Universe stuff as well. I know, it's like you know it's that character full well.
With that kind of like art style and colour and stuff, I suppose you know that that's the Steven Universe thing.
Yeah, and it's like, and I get why my mate was angry, but I just said, look, don't cause drama over it, mate, because last thing you need is...
Yeah, I think that the thing is as well, people will always go to fan art over original work, and the main reason is because they already have an established connection with that show, with those characters.
Yeah, and I think it hurts artists a lot when it comes to that. I
think if they're going to do, you know, no fan art, it needs to be no fan art across the board.
Yeah, exactly.
But then you've got these I mean, it's saying like Comic-Con is such a broad spectrum, because if you're talking about Comic Village, then no one's producing any fan art. But then if you go to the stalls and people are selling bootleg, that's the same equivalent.
Yeah, exactly. And that's
selling, you know, stuff on a corporate level that's got.
That's not real.
So I mean, you could say about, you know, happening in Comic Village, but I think the only thing that would happen is all of those sales would then go into these companies that are selling bootleg and this, you know, this fake stolen artwork in the first place. How many times I've seen, you know, the thing that hurts me most is when I see a stand that's selling artwork of someone that is also in Comic Village.
Yeah,
and that's the most shocking thing that you can see. Like, I remember there was a canvas stand that was selling all of these canvas prints, obviously all stolen online, but there was artwork from an artist that I knew, and he was working that show. And I went over to him and I was like, look, by the way, like, your stuff's over on that stand. And he was like, what do you mean my stuff's over there? And I was like, they've printed your artwork. And actually, do you know what? The same artist popped up on Facebook the other day, Rice Spirit, because he's I mean, he's a brilliant artist anyway, huge inspiration.
Yeah.
But his stuff is obviously seen all over the internet. And these people like designing t-shirts and hoodies, and you could tell that they was like cut and pasted off of his
off
of
of
his artwork.
See what
Comment said it as well. So
yeah,
it's when you get to a point that your art style is known by the artist, and then everyone that looks at it goes, yeah, that's not yours, that's this person's.
yeah. See, I think, to be honest, there needs to be a higher. People need to be brought in Comic Cons, especially. I know it's hard to do, but need to be brought to a higher standard, because I don't agree with art theft. And like I say, and on the subject of fan art, because I think this is a theory that needs to be discussed, and I think it's not just the artist's responsibility to report things like this, but it's also the customer's sort of thing. And I know you might want a really cool shirt, but would you rather buy it off an artist that puts that sort of shirt online on Teespring, if you get what I mean? Like, I got my own Teespring store for my artworks. So
yeah, and I think, again, like, when we talk about Comic Village compared to, you know, dealers and stuff that are selling, you know, a copy-pasted image, the difference between what happened with Rice Spirit is that person's put zero effort. That what they've done is they've cut an image and put it onto their clothing line, whereas what a lot of the artists are doing are they're recreating things in their own image out of a love and for whatever that fandom is. And at the same time, yes, it's the same image, but actually they've made that fully.
Yeah, and I'm saying that, and I'm saying
like a cut paste job.
Is kind of,
it's such a grey area because there's so many different, you know, conflicting things within it. Yeah,
like for me, I stand on, if you get commissioned to do it or you do it and show it for free, fan art wise, I think that's fine and that's perfectly reasonable, because someone's paid you to do that work, or you've done it because you want to show your love for that show and you're showing everyone, if you get what I mean.
Yeah.
But that's why I do, like, the only time I do fan art is on my live draws, so people can see it, if you get what I mean, or the fusions and stuff like that.
And sometimes that's something, like Fusion, for example. I wouldn't go as far as saying fan art. It's more kind of like inspired by, because the product is never a copycat of whatever the original is.
Yeah,
it's something that's influenced by the original image.
Yeah, exactly. And that's fine, but as soon as you try to sell it, I think you're making money off someone else's thing. Unless you worked, say for example, you worked for Marvel, you've done a few comics. Alright, yeah, you're allowed to sell prints because you were contracted by them. It's kind of, if you get what I mean, it's your work.
Yeah.
But you were contracted low, like the guy does the Beano and that. Stuff like that. Like, you had permission from them to do artwork for them, and they're giving you permission to sell prints of what you've done, if you get what I mean. Sort of like your portfolio.
There's so many benefactors into.
Yeah, there is.
This is such a tough one at the moment.
But like I say, I think unless you have been contracted by a company to do it, I don't think it's kind of right, because it gives people, like, with their own original titles, a bit of a kick in the nuts, if you get what I mean. And like you say, it's also fake vendors as well that do this, and that it also gives people a kick in the nuts.
Yeah, and the amount of, I mean, I did a show in Paris a while ago, and I mean, the amount of, it's people that didn't even, oh god, it's, it's Super Saiyans with, like, green hair and...
Yeah, but you could say same as Bleach, can't you? It's Dragon Ball Z with swords.
Yeah, but I'm talking about these people had, like, images stolen from, these things like Dragon Ball Z, Bleach, Naruto and stuff, but just, they'd changed, like, the eye color or the skin tone hue had been changed on Photoshop, something that was so obviously fake, because that by changing one aspect of it, you've shown that it's fake. But you're selling an image that everyone associates as that character. And there was zero effort to even cover up that all of the stuff was bootleg in the first place. And it was so difficult, because I was actually looking for official merch. I tend to pride myself on having things that are like the official figurines and all of that kind of stuff.
It's hard to tell, isn't it? Unless you're in that field.
But it's difficult to find them when you've got 1 out of 20 shops is legit and the other ones have all got something fake in them.
Oh yeah, and that I have to admit I agree on, because it is so hard to sort of tell. Because I was talking to someone who goes to cons and that, and like from the Taco group, like Tish friends, and I won't mention name, but because she's done that sort of thing before, like community wise, you can kind of tell if they're fake or not.
Yeah.
But unless you're like her, people like you and me are not going to know, are they?
Yeah, like I think if it's something, I mean Dragon Ball for example, if I see something in Dragon Ball, I can usually tell if it's official artwork, if it's been traced, if it's been drawn up themselves, or if it's, you know, fan art or whatever, because I know the franchise so well. But that's just one franchise within, you know, so many that are in display on these stalls that it's difficult to really tell what's what if you don't necessarily know those fandoms themselves.
Yeah, exactly. And I think this is where I said the big problem lies within that, where we, and it's like, it's not just like you say, it's not just merchandise, but it's fan art, it's art, theft, everything. And to be honest, this is why I'm going to do this series. So yes, I may lay on controversial subjects, but it's trying to make people aware of the problem, and then see what we can do to make it better as a whole, like the artist, the company, and the fans. If you get what I mean.
Yeah.
And that's just why I did the first episode of Exposure, because I think a lot of people, especially fans, do not understand how hard it is to get out there as an artist. I think a lot of people do underestimate it. If you get what I mean.
Yeah, I think some of it comes down to hard work, some of it comes down to a bit of luck.
Yeah.
And kind of like who you know and things like that. There's some artists that I know that have got maybe like 5 or 6 images on their Instagram. That's a very small account. I mean, I've got some sub accounts with different artist aliases where I post different content, and they only have about 5 or 6 images, for example. But my followers and my likes reflect how many images I have. So I've got a new account which is basically for my Pokemon fan art, because I wanted to separate that from my main page so that it was Pokemon all over the place. I'm doing these like regional versions of like Bulbasaur and stuff where, you know, he's got like a different flower on his back from different areas around the world. So I wanted to make a separate page just dedicated to that, because I know that I'll have time throughout the year to add bits and pieces. I've got currently 6 images on there, about 50, 60 followers. It's quite accurate, but what throws me is sometimes you've got people that have got, you know, 5, 6 images and 1.5 million followers.
Likes.
Like, what?
How?
How does this happen? You've got no hashtags, no comments, no engagement with your audience. I mean, sometimes I know you can like buy people and you can over advertise and things like that.
Yeah, but not to that extent. I've done it a couple times before.
Odd. Yeah, sometimes it just seems very odd that there are people. And you know, I know people that I work with that have got, you know, 10 times more followers than I've got, and they post, you know, selfies and pictures of their food on Instagram, which is fair. But a lot of the time they say, oh, you know, actually, like, I work with all of my followers are people that I work with, or their friends from school, or their family, and I've got a lot of like family friends. And then you realise, like, sometimes it is kind of like who you know. And at the end of the day, it's not really about how many followers you've got. It's really about the engagement you get from those followers.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I struggle with.
And you know, if you're getting no engagement, or if you're not, you know, there's no like comments, likes, any conversation happening between you and that 1.5 million followers, then what's the point in having that number on Instagram? Like,
exactly.
It's not doing anything. The idea is to have that number to
engage.
I've tried making a kind of like an active move to try and improve the amount of followers I have, because it always seems to fluctuate on and off the same kind of number. But what I found is by doing it, I'm engaging more with my guests, and I'm thinking more about, you know, my clients and replying to the comments and all that kind of stuff. And actually, that in itself is really what I do at cons, and that should be the prime aspect of what you're doing on social media anyway.
Yeah. I have to admit, the problem with me is trying to remember people's names. And when you get a fan that really comes up to you, and I've done this, and I have to admit, I've always felt guilty about this. One person has been my first ever fan, and I forgot her name. I felt so fucking guilty. But you can't remember everyone's names. I have to keep telling myself that.
Yeah, I'm terrible with names, especially when I only see them at, you know, some people only go to like one con a year.
Yeah.
So I might see them once a year, I might see them once every other year, or I might see them twice a year. But that's still a really long time, and I will, unless I've got that engagement online. This is one thing I'm really grateful for, is that there are some clients or customers or you know, followers, whatever you want to kind of
call them,
call the following. Yeah, that will actively. I mean, it's really like quite blessed to have these people that will
support you
and like on every single thing. And you know, it's not everyone that follows me, but there is a handful of people, and they know who they are because they're always giving their input when I ask for it. They're always letting me know what they think about like my work, and they're asking me, you know, what my events are. So when I see those people, I know them by a first name basis because I talk to them, you know, just as often as I do my family. And I
see, that's what I wish to have, but I seem to struggle with that. But that's because of my dyslexia. I think part of my problem is my dyslexia.
Well, you know what I was saying about Comic Cons anyway, that like there's a lot of people that I see at Comic Con that don't do the social media, and they don't, you know, they don't necessarily follow me online, but every con I'll see them, and they're the people that I always forget the names of because you know, I meet them once, I use the name once, and then next year it's kind of like the same thing all over again. So I really try. I've got terrible memory anyway, but I really try to but I'll see.
But when it's a fan though, you get guilty, don't you, when you forget?
But I know the face, so whenever I see someone, I'll look at them and I'll look to Chris and be like, I know these people. We've met. We've done commission work, and they bought this print and they bought this, and I'll know what they've got and what they've done. And they'll come back and say, oh, you know, what's the new stuff? And we'll be like, when was the last time we met? Oh, okay, it was this point. Okay, so since then I've got this. Like the name thing. I think hopefully they understand, but
I hope they do as well. But I always feel guilty, and I feel like an absolute. I even offered this fan. I went, look, do you want Volume 3 early when it's done? Because I feel really bad, and I want to make it up to you. Because this person was my first ever fan, and that's what hurt me. Because I was like, I should have remembered this person.
I think,
and I felt such like a dick when I did that.
You got to remember though, like things like MCM. If you're talking about MCM in particular, because I know that's a show that you do. There's hundreds of thousands of people that go.
Oh god,
we'd probably only see a small fraction of them, but I'd say I see. I can't even put a number on it. Hundreds and hundreds of people I see over the course of a weekend.
Yeah.
And then for me personally, I can do anywhere up to like 7 shows a year. So that's thousands of people that I've seen through art, and some of them it's only for a few seconds. So I think, I'm sure they understand that you can't necessarily remember every name. Cause...
Yeah, I know, but still, when it's your first one, it's a bit like shit.
And I always remember like the first couple of like super fans and your diehard fans that came over, and there's some fans that I've got that will every convention they'll commission me to draw them. Like I've drawn them before, but they want to get a new drawing for every convention, or they want to see how.
And it's good they want to support you that way.
Yeah, and it's so it's one of the best things. I mean, 2 things that you can really put a smile on my face at Comic-Con. 1, coming over to my table with food, and 2, if you're like a returning super fan that I remember from 6 years ago, that's such a good feeling to be like, oh my god, you've remembered me, you've come back. Like it's such an odd relationship.
Anyways, Bo, I want to ask you something. Is the perspective this all right?
Oh, sorry, one moment. I'm back on the screen. I had to charge my phone.
I'll put it back. Go
on.
I just hope the perspective's fine. You watch. It'd be Joe, like the one that's been like my art sensei now for. He's gonna kick my ass over something. I've got a feeling he will.
It's not playing. I literally just took it off the screen and it's not playing. One moment.
It might be because of too much data.
Yeah, it was playing fine. I took it off because I had a text, and as I've gone to put it back on, it's frozen. Oh, right, I see it. Yeah, one sec. Let me just go full screen on it.
At the moment, I'm kind of like doing the... when I do backgrounds, I do like 3 separate colouring layers. Just so it makes it easy for me to identify what's what.
I mean, one technique, I don't know, I don't think you did this when you were doing the lines, but I mean, you're sketching your lines, you see these 2 things on the left-hand side going down.
Yeah.
Where you're kind of drawing. Those, I mean, it depends, again, you've got slightly different software to me, but I would draw the line going all the way across both of them, so you know that the gap you've got between the two of them that's open.
Yeah.
I would do. I mean, they look good, but I'm just saying as a preference kind of thing. You could do the lines all the way down.
Yeah.
Draw up everything. You're gonna have all these extra lines going over on grid. Just use a separate layer.
True.
And then you can just delete. You know, like use your polygon tool or whatever. Go around and then delete those extra bits, and then you know these are all perfectly in line because they've actually been drawn from the same line.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, not everything in perspective is perfect anyway.
No.
Who's to say that these two tables are exactly... Do you know what I mean? Like, how do you know they're exactly in line and, you know, done whatever way? But, yeah, it's perspective is such a...
It is a BIH.
Yeah, I find perspective with actual characters quite difficult. Because you almost distort...
Oh, God, yeah.
So much. I think we're used to seeing as people, backgrounds and stuff drawn in a certain perspective, and we're always seeing, we're always walking down the road or driving down the road or whatever, and we're always seeing things within that perspective, but we always think that we see a person as like a flat 2D image.
When it's not, no.
Yeah, like it never is. And if someone puts a hand out towards you, technically, if you freeze frame that, their hand is bigger than their head from that perspective. Or, their foot is the same size as their eyeball. Like it's difficult to try and break away from that 2D. We learn to draw 2D, but actually,
we should be learning to draw 3D. Really.
Yeah.
Honestly.
You've got to learn what it is before you animate. It's the same as, we talk about the Pokemon. I'm sure they illustrated a lot of them before they animated them. And it's the same thing. We draw them and then we try and learn the perspective of them.
Oh, God, yeah.
Especially when you've got your own characters and there's different shapes and things that you can't necessarily reference.
Oh, God, yeah.
Characters aren't even human. So, for me, a lot of the referencing now has to come from humans. But the original shape of them, they weren't really... The faces weren't human head shapes and stuff. But for the sake of, learning perspective... I've kind of just got to make it closer to a human head. So that I have some sort of reference point. Otherwise, it's never gonna have anything concrete to go against.
Oh yeah, I agree on that. Like, I heavy-handedly agree on that. As you can see here right now, I'm just doing all the red for shading.
Yeah.
Because what I do is now I actually kind of start using red to map out the black shading. Because now my shading is absolutely dark now. And I find it really hard to see black and not go over the lines or not go over specific lines, even when I lock the layer. So,
do you freehand draw on this? Freehand color on this even?
9 times out of 10, yeah. I would say 9 out of 10. But when you got a straight line to do, then I use the control N, or what is it? Control N something. Makes straight lines. You know. You know the what one. The straight liney thing.
I'll just be right back. 2 seconds.
Alright. There we go. And we're just gonna... We might put a band on soon, because I'm literally hitting, near that point where I'm going to be colouring in. So... Ooh, I like this one. I'm waiting for, the Halo theme tune to come up now. You watch Bo come back why are you making those sounds? Anyways, but... And then just
Sorry, I'm back.
Welcome back. Yeah, I'm just doing just mapping out all the shading bits now.
So do you shade in colour or do you shade in grey?
I shade in black. Oh no, if I give you one of my more recent images, because I'm not sure if you see.
Oh, as in this is blacked out, right?
Yeah. So I'll delete the blue and then the rest of it will go black. So this is why I do the red first, so I can see what I'm actually shading. So... Because I don't want it to mix up with anything as well. That's why I do a tiny little gap when I go near to a bit where it's black as well. Just so it gives it sort of that line.
Okay.
I'm not sure. Have you actually seen most of my recent works?
I haven't seen anything from Volume 3, I'll be honest. I've seen
Oh.
a few works in Volume 1 and 2.
You haven't seen snippets of 3 yet?
I don't think so.
Oh. Does someone want to be a beta reader?
Go for it.
I'll send you the link then after the show. Give me your thoughts and opinions, because I was thinking about getting one more beta reader in, so...
Sounds good.
There we go. And, oh, by the way, I've got a contest going on if you wish to enter it as well, for funds.
When's the deadline?
Literally, I'm surprised because I've been putting posters out all the time. It's the 20th. It is very near. And I launched just about 3 months ago.
That's 3 days away.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm going to get any artwork done in that time.
Just do a stick figure.
That might be all I have the time for. This is like my 1 day off by then.
Nah.
I've only got one more day off before Comic-Con, so...
Nah, fair enough.
I've got most of my prints in. There's just a couple of new pieces that I've created since.
See, I'm going as a customer. Oh, stickers.
Do some stickers this year, yeah.
Ooh, where are you getting your stickers from?
I'm actually making them at home.
Oh.
I was gonna use the company, and you know what, we were talking about prices and stuff. I always try and keep it like cheap. Well, not cheap, but affordable. You know.
Oh yeah, because otherwise you're.
Like, I always think from a fan's perspective, like I'm never going to spend this much on this. I'm my worst critic when it comes to that. But
I think that's right though to think like that, because I literally stopped selling pens because of that, and the magnets will be being stopped soon as well. The chibi magnets.
But yeah, I think sometimes it's there's got to be a balance between making it affordable, but also actually making some sort of profit from that and not losing money from it as well. And I think
exactly.
A lot of the sticker packs and stuff that I was looking at, and a lot of these companies, I'm sure the quality is probably better than the stuff that I'm doing now. But I'm trying to ensure that by the time Comic-Con comes around, that I have a decent enough quality that I can be proud of. But the ones that we were doing with online, once you take into all the costs and stuff, I'd really have to sell out to make a decent profit, you know, to be like, okay, this isn't a risk anymore. But actually the stuff I've got now, it's at a price where I'm comfortable that, you know, if I don't sell any of them, I've not really lost anything. But if I sell some, it's a plus. And I'll be selling them very cheap as well, so hopefully people kind of jump on that, because they're going to be, you know, only, I mean, like 50p to £1 for like packs of stickers. So
nice,
pretty decent.
Yeah, that's decent price for that. Like,
they're a decent size as well.
Are they now, Bo?
Yes, they are.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, I didn't want to lose like too much detail. It's a lot of like dot work, and the pen that I've been using for it is actually the .05 pen, so it's like half millimeter one. Yeah. So yeah, I've got a weird relationship with dot work. It's kind of like I absolutely hate doing it, because you kind of you'll sit there for like an hour just doing these dots on this thing. But at the end of it, like, the product looks absolutely amazing, especially when you rescale it. The product just looks so strong. So
it's a love-hate relationship.
Yes, definitely, but it's something I'm working on.
I love it so much, but I hate it. Just go in the corner like Gollum, like, I hate it, but I love it so much.
Basically.
Sorry, I just got this vision of you going Gollum without the stickers. Going.
Yeah, like even printing them and getting the right, you know, the right paper and the right scaling and everything. It's my work is always a love-hate relationship.
I think with all artists, I think like that's the god honest truth, isn't it? Like we are our worst critics, and at the same time, like we love our work, but we hate it at the same time. But anyways, I'm just doing the shading of the stalls now. The Costa coffee stalls. I had to rearrange it a bit because in volume 3, I kind of switched to perspective where the coffee stalls should have been. If you get what I mean.
Yeah.
So I know they should have been more towards where that is, but
this is the thing with when we talk about perspective. I'm actually probably better doing perspective hand drawn than I am on digital, to be honest.
I think I'm bad either way. I don't have an excuse.
I think when I'm doing digital, obviously you've got your canvas. And I always draw to fill the canvas when I'm digital. When I'm hand drawn, you can give me like an A4 piece of paper, and I'll fit it into a third of that piece of paper.
Yeah.
So I never really reach the borders for it, so it gives you a little bit more freedom. Whereas
freedom,
working frame by frame, then it's it's easy to not think of what's off the frame, and actually a lot of artwork doesn't end up actually in.
It's quite weird because this is one of my faster life draws, and I've just realised it's like nearly half one. It's been an hour, and I'm already shading. So
yeah, practice makes perfect, though.
Yeah,
I found I for many years now I've been drawing digital. Like when you colour in, I've been colouring it in manually, like brush stroking it and making sure it doesn't go over the lines and such. But I don't know if it's just one of those like moments where, like a bit of a blonde moment that I've not realised. Actually, the paint tool on a certain setting, if I do it a certain way on Manga Studio, will fill within certain layers. So as long as I've got strong, bold line art, it'll just fill it all up for me. And it like there's never been any problems with it, at least with the current version of Manga Studio. Whereas my old programs, you could never do that.
Yeah,
because it counted for your layers. It always went, yeah, but all of these lines are behind this layer. Whereas this one just goes, yeah, they're on different layers, but there are lines there, and I'm guessing you want me to fill in between them. So
yeah,
quite clever in that aspect.
I've never tried that bit before, actually. Admittedly,
it is therapeutic to obviously colouring away, and it's quite nice for as an audience to kind of like see it coming to life, because the colouring and the shading is kind of what really brings the image to life.
Yeah, true.
The line art. But yeah, now I just go click, 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 done.
It's done.
It saves me hours of trying to colour in these little gaps. Yeah.
Hashtag lazy artist army.
Yes, artists for the most part are so lazy, and I'm probably the worst for it.
Don't worry, I think we all have those guilty little moments.
Yeah. And we blame it on like art block and not feeling inspired.
I don't feel inspired. Yeah.
Yeah, there's no excuse. We're terrible.
Yeah, we're terrible people.
if this was anything else, you know, if this was your day job or whatever, it would be done. If it was a chore in the house, it would be done. If it's artwork, it only ever gets done when the fear of not having it done is more than the fear of actually wanting to do it in the first place.
Oh god, yeah, I 100% agree on that. It's like, shit. See, that's what I do. I actually put myself in that mindscape all the time. Like, when it comes to live draw, I kind of try to put that into me. So, especially now, like...
And it's just changing daily behaviours. I mean... It's one of those things that, like, I've tried recently with... So, it's just making, like, putting things into your routine. So, artwork on a daily basis isn't in my routine. Sadly, I have my day job, and... It's not drawing for the most part. But
it's draw spawn. Sorry, what?
No, but what I do when I finally sit down at the computer and I'm like, oh, I'm uninspired. Oh, I'm not feeling this and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
I've wasted my day off that I have to do it. So what I've actually recently been doing, which is killing me for sleep, but who really needs it, is I'm making a conscious effort. I do a lot of late shifts, and my shifts are always rotated and they change around all the time, so I don't really have like a pattern to my work schedule. So what I do is, if I do a late shift, then I get up as if I would for a morning shift, and then I spend all of that time doing my artwork. I get ready early, like I do my breakfast, get ready, blah blah. Sit at my desk as if I'm ready to go to work. So you get yourself completely ready. You're fully dressed. It's not like you're kind of lazing around in pajamas or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, I'll make it so that, and that makes an impact.
It does make a huge difference. I've actually done that myself, and I have to admit, when you're in PJs, you're trying to draw, and you're like,
Yeah. Like if you're dressed for work and you're dressed up, whatever, like it affects you mentally and it makes you think that you're meant to be more productive. It's silly little kind of like micro movements that change it. Basically, I'll get up early, I will sit at the desk and I'll whack out whatever I can, and then in my days off I know that I've got an art piece, like today for example, I've got an art piece that I could probably get done in time for Expo, maybe.
Nice.
So I will sit down and I'll crack it out on my day off, hopefully. And if I can't, then you do like your chores and your bits and pieces and stuff. I've got to like do the garden later today because it's completely overgrown.
Oh god! What, this weather?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, unfortunately.
have
But,
fun.
it was raining on my last 2 days off, so I literally haven't had a chance. But
Oh, okay.
but yeah, so it's things like that. You know, your life is always going to have like obstacles and such. But
Oh
now,
god, yeah.
if that happens, I go, okay, well, I'm on it early tomorrow, so I'll do it after work, or I'm on the late, so I'm going to do it before work. And there's always
Okay.
going to be, if I have a day off, it's an opportunity to finish a piece and start something brand new, and maybe get that finished as well. But I mean,
Nice.
if you look through the things on, you know, that I've got, especially like social media,
Yeah.
the like most of my recent work has all kind of been whacked out within the last 2-3 weeks.
Oh,
Like
nice.
within 2-3 weeks, I've produced. What day are we today? Well, the 17th.
Friday.
I think I've done 15 pieces of art within 17 days.
Oh god, that is a lot.
That's like, yeah, that's like steroid power compared to what some months I used to have like barely any artwork. And I know that there's going to be times, you know, like I said, I've got my stag do coming up. We've got,
yeah.
a wedding and stuff. I've got conventions like Comic-Con season. I don't even take commissions during the season time because I know that I'm going to get so like caught up in everything.
Yeah.
And I do conventions on a day which is slightly different. But I know that I've got May, and then I've got June is, you know, go back to work for a little while, have my stag do.
Yeah.
And then July straight into 2 cons back to back.
Oh god.
June,
Yeah.
July, August is the wedding. September's the honeymoon. And then September, October is the next set of conventions. So,
Oh,
like,
God.
most of your year goes by. Like, I've only just got out of doing commissions, really. I've had some amazing commissions this year.
Oh, nice.
Really fun projects, which I've been quite fortunate to know, you know, whatever people wanted me to do. But my commissions have only just finished, really, at the start of May. So let's just say April. April, that's 4 months into the year. And I think I started doing these at around October last year.
Okay.
So that's well over half a year of not really getting my own. This is why Echoville takes so damn long to get done, because there's so many other good. But I love it. I absolutely love it, and sometimes it's nice to you know, do things like commissions and stuff, so you get like a little bit of. I mean, I recently did a Dungeons and Dragons piece, and I don't play D&D.
Nice.
I've
played it actually, funnily enough.
I'd love to learn more about it because this project was so fun. It just gave me like
So much freedom.
Vague, relatively like vague instructions on what they were and what they looked like and what weapons they had, and the rest of it I could kind of like really take my imagination with it.
Yeah,
and
just
once
go.
you build up 1 or 2, you kind of make like you've got like a theme and an art style that goes with it, and it's just been such a fun project. And I ended up doing 6 fully illustrated characters.
Oh, nice.
Such a fun project though, and it's things like that that kind of gave me like a fresh perspective.
Sorry.
Which I wouldn't have had if I was drawing, you know, my usual characters. I wouldn't have had that fresh perspective, like how to illustrate those things, or you know, use those skills that I kind of picked up from doing that artwork.
Yeah, true. I have to admit, D&D is quite, because I did what I did for the first 2 campaigns. I did because I DM'd one and played in another. I asked my friends, "Oh, do you want a free, like, sort of?" I'd say commission, but it's commission basically. So for free. So I drew up like non-black shaded versions of characters because I needed to do it quick. So I didn't want to spend like ages on shading and that. Anyways, talking about shading. Onto shading with the rest of this. But yeah, as you can see here, I'm kind of like trying to finish this off now. But yeah, I found it quite fun because you do have a lot of freedom because people just want to use them straight away. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I wouldn't say they're impatient, just more of they're quite excited, if you get what I mean. Yeah. And they're like, oh yeah, I want to show off my character to everybody for the D&D table. So D&D's a lot of fun, and there's lots of different D&D type games as well. I think that's what helps it a lot more. Like at the moment, are you a 40k fan?
No, this is the thing. Like I don't really know too much about any of that stuff, but I'd like to get into, you know, when I've been thinking about like Echoville, like it's very war based, and it could probably fit that kind of demographic. I've probably got a fan base there that I'm not even aware that exists.
Yeah, exactly.
That could maybe appeal to. Maybe it's stronger as a D&D game than it is a manga or a story or whatever. But But I think it's so cool that there's now these characters which, you know, they've probably been forming in their head, that they've now got a visual representation of.
And they get to show it off to their buddies.
And that's what they're gonna, but that's what they're gonna use for like their. It's almost like designing someone's computer game character for them, because every night they play this is gonna be what they use as you know, in their heads as their inspiration for what they look like and what they're doing. And they kind of really like. I've drawn them a character and I've tried, you know, adding my personality to it. But really, like, they get to then take that character and shape it themselves. So use it in their own medium. So yeah, it's such a cool concept.
I tell you what's the fun about D&D is sometimes I get to break away from making my own characters.
Yeah.
And I'm doing a D&D campaign as a paladin dwarf called Cartman the Great.
Cool.
Cartman from South Park. I'm not sure, like.
Oh.
Yeah. So basically, I made Cartman into a South Park character into a D&D character. A beardless dwarf.
Very nice.
And yeah, he tries to be great, but he's not that great. So yeah, I kind of try and make him as racist towards humans as possible as well.
Sounds like a Cartman thing.
Oh yeah. Oh, don't worry. I did. There was a bard character that's having a gig pub, and he made mini posters going, "See the big titted wonder." Like, I'm thinking, what's a very Cartman thing to do that could really backfire? Sadly, I had nothing backfired on me yet, because I'm waiting to get him to get his up comments, if you get what I mean, because we know what Cartman's like.
Yeah.
One way or the other.
It looks like a lot of fun though.
Oh, it is.
The D&D, definitely.
It is. The only thing I would say, there are certain players out there, and please do not take this as a dig, guys. They do take it way too seriously.
Yeah, but I think you've got that in any sort of fandom. I think you've got, you know.
Yeah, true. True. I could say that for a fact. But yeah, I have to admit, it is a lot of fun, especially with the right DM. You got to have the right DM for the job, I think, as well. And I think that's what makes it partly good, because if you've got a really shit DM that can't tell you the story, that you can't interact much with, it doesn't become fun, if you get what I mean.
Yeah.
But if you have a really great DM that basically gives you this grand story, and you what's it called? Interact with the world very well, then yeah, I think you are onto something great, if you get what I mean.
Yeah, definitely.
But I have to admit, I like to be a player most of the time, but every now and again I like to DM. And I can't wait to DM Deathwatch, which is based on the board game Warhammer 40,000. Oh. And basically, think the SAS for Space Marines. In the Grimdark universe, yeah. So that's why I'm looking forward to it, because it's something different than fantasy. It's a lot more sci-fi, exaggerated blood and gore, grimdark. I think you get the picture. Like, in the 41st millennium, there is only war, basically. I need to come up with a name for this fake Costa. Sorry, I just looked at this and went, yes, I need to come up with a fake name for this one. Sorry, because I don't want to get sued. Can you imagine Costa just takes me to court? I gave you advertisement. No, you're getting sued, mate. Oh. No. But yeah, anyways. But yeah, I'm looking forward to kind of doing it, because once this campaign's over that I'm playing at the moment, I'm going to DM Deathwatch, and I'm going to give them two options. It's either a what-if story called Return of the Primarchs, or I'm going to do something more comedic called Steve Irwin's Guide to Space. And you basically go on a hunt for these big alien creatures to send back to the Imperium. And Steve Irwin is a chapter master of the Space Marine chapter called the Aussie Marines. So yeah, I'm going to make it as sort of comedic as possible. But yeah. But that's the fun thing about DMing. Once you get the hang of it, you can write your own stories and have people to interact with it.
For creative writing.
Yeah, And I think it's good practice for anyone who's aspiring to be a writer as well. I think it gives really good practice in. Because I think people go, oh, how do you come up with these characters? I go, well, I told you about this, didn't I? I used to go on roleplay sites.
Yeah.
And, sorry, coughing out my left lung there. But yeah, so I do that and then just process them and see which ones interact with so many worlds.
Yeah, I mean, it all counts as like a creative process anyway, isn't it? It's,
yeah.
It all works.
It all works in groovy. So, anyways, any news from Echoville?
Oh
dear.
So,
oh dear.
We were, yeah, I was really hoping. I think I just set an unrealistic expectation to get it done for May, because I knew I had all of these commissions. I think after this, I mean, now I'm kind of in full swing of Comic Con. I have basically between December, which no work is ever going to get done because Christmas. And May, that's pretty much my work period for getting Echoville done, because any other time of the year it's Comic Cons or it's doing commissions from those Comic Cons. So yeah, it's a bit odd. It's I haven't had as much time as I really wanted.
Oh dear.
Not really any excuses for it. It's just obviously work and such. But I've got some bits and pieces. So basically, I've got a storyboard for the first season.
Yep.
So I'm working on that at the moment. I've re-storyboarded it God knows how many times now, but I feel like it needed a fresh approach, and the reason why I was putting it off was because I wasn't happy with what I'd done.
Yeah.
So now I'm kind of at a position where I like the idea of illustrating it. I was going to do it all digital. I'm now contemplating doing it all traditional.
Okay.
Which is why I'm trying to get into drawing more traditional stuff at the moment as well. But with the Flux set that I just did on Instagram with the black and white traditional pieces that I've done, which I'm going to be doing as stickers for Comic Con, I'm now doing an Echoville set as well. So I'm already partway through them. I've not launched any of them on there yet, so they'll be going on later on after Comic Con, because they won't be ready till at least the winter cons. But I realised, I've got a lot of art pieces of Echoville characters, but I don't just have something where you've got a headshot of every single character.
Yeah.
It is going to be a lot, because, I mean, Flux has 12 main characters.
Oh, God.
And that's just the main characters, and that's a side story. Compared to things like Echoville, which is what I'd consider like an epic. Echoville's probably got...
It's like a dark shonen, basically.
Yeah, it's probably got about 30 key characters, but there are also like maybe about 20 or 30 key villains as well.
Oh, right.
And then there's a lot of people that have got, names, faces, script. I'd count those kind of...
So you got like sort of a VTLS thing. Loads of characters, loads of villains. See what happens.
Yeah, and Echoville is very Game of Thronesy as well. You kind of see all of these faces. And then, throughout the first season, a bunch of them are dead. And then, as they're dying, you're getting introduced to new faces, which might possibly die shortly after as well. So,
don't get attached, people.
Yeah, the character pool is like it's weird. Like, I've done so many drawings of these characters together, and then I look at it and I'm like,
they're not gonna meet, and you cry inside.
You guys never meet each other because these guys have died before you guys have even been born or whatever. So it's obviously it's not official artwork that I've done, but there's a lot of there's a lot of that. There's a lot of and some of them are here for the short run, but they're here to kind of emphasize certain things. So I mean, Echoville season 1 is really about explaining.
Don't get attached to anybody, basically.
Well, yeah, I would say a learning curve. It's more to be like.
Yeah, and I feel I'm losing you.
Hello?
Hello? I'm sorry, I thought I lost you there. Go on.
That's okay. So it's more about saying, this is Echoville, this is the law, this is the rules, these are kind of like how the things work. So you can learn. It's very like Avatar-ish. Yeah. So the first season is kind of like learning about what all of that stuff is. Yeah. So that's kind of like, we're going to hold your hand a little bit. But also, we're going to kill some people.
So get your tear ducts ready.
Yeah, I think you won't get as attached. I think it's very similar to how Game of Thrones works in the sense that characters which they're important, but they're not important because they're alive. They're important. Their death has shown,
Yeah.
Whatever their purpose. All of the deaths pretty much got a purpose. It's to either push the story in a certain direction, or it is to emphasize that like no one's safe. There are no favorites, or whatever reason there is. But there's a good reason to each one, and I'd like to think that I give most of them a pretty good death. I like a good death scene.
you like a good death scene. A lot of death.
I think the first book, it's good to show all of these things can happen. Like anyone can really die. There are some really strong characters which, if I'd kept them throughout the entire season, which was never even a fault, they were dead before I even thought of doing sequels. But they were put in there to show you like the David and Goliath, and be like, oh, you see this guy? He's massive. He's really strong, and he doesn't live. So that's your lesson.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter. It's a big game about survival. And, and it makes the deaths mean more when it gets to the end of the series, because there are some people that will, they dodge death over and over and over again.
Oh, I hate that.
But it means that when it actually comes to them, and the way that it's portrayed, without obviously spoiling too much, but some of these deaths are, they're very noble people, let's say, that are, they really deserve like an honourable way of going, and get complete sucker punched, like get the worst way of going possible, or not getting their honourable death, or not dying in a fair way, kind of being cheated almost, is a nice way of throwing you back into that realism of going, oh yeah, like just because this person is nice, or they're honourable, or they're like a Captain America figure that's all about justice, doesn't mean that they're gonna survive.
They're not.
So, there's a lot of that, and it's really about completing everyone's character arc as well. But the characters that do stay, a lot of them aren't even the strongest characters in the show. I mean, you look at the first season, the strongest people, or most of the strongest people in the first season, are the ones that go. Because strength usually looks for more power. Power seeks power. So, if you're someone that's strong, you're probably going to look for something stronger. Ultimately, that's most of their demise, really.
Oh yeah, I actually can't agree with that philosophy, because a warrior's life is a warrior's end, isn't it? Really, 9 times out of 10. If you're going to lead that life, 9 times out of 10, you're going to die.
I mean, the ancestors that I have from, I mean, this isn't really a spoiler, because it's pretty much said from the get-go, but the ancestors that are in the third season, the way they all get turned into stone is because there was one cocky character that wanted to basically kill their version of God. And that is like power seeks power. She was someone that, defeated everyone that she came across, thought she was practically invincible, and then got completely put in her place, and her pride was almost the fall of her entire generation.
Oh dear.
Her entire generation were trapped for, thousands of years, because she was so sure of herself, and they followed blindly because she was so convincing. Basically, it's put an end to a whole generation. So,
well, the way it goes.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
I don't think many people will feel too sorry for this one in particular.
No.
She is a very cruel character, and actually, she's one of the few that I'm doing a prequel for. Because her character, since drawing her, I really made her like a soulless killing machine. And
it needs to be explained why.
Well, no, like she's not even that anymore. Like, she's gained so much character, despite the fact that she's not even been in a manga yet. I've been working on this prequel because I would constantly. She's one of these characters that just materialized her own personality and everything, and then I had to keep justifying, like, why is she? I mean, she literally plays with her food. Like, I mean, she'll fight someone and she'll she'll make every single tiny little cut that she can without seriously injuring them, because she is literally playing with food. Like, she doesn't need to. I mean, if she wanted to, there's actually one scene where she's fighting a really strong character, and they think, you know, the good guy really thinks, do you know what, there's a chance I could win this, and then she has to put them in their place and
oh dear,
you haven't realised how much I'm really toying. Like, if I wanted you dead, I could have killed you like nearly 90 times by now.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, and she says, she's like, you know, it will only take me 5 to 6 like moves to actually put you in a position that I can kill you in. And they're like, well, you're bluffing. And then, you know, 5 to 6 attacks later, and they're literally in a position where she's got a scythe to their throat, going, yeah, look, I told you, like, I could do this if I want, but I'm just enjoying myself too much.
Yeah.
And that kind of personality that spiraled out of this just mindless machine,
Jesus,
I felt kind of needed like some sort of explaining. So really, we've done like a prequel, but it's not even. It's weird. It goes back 2 generations.
Right.
It shows basically her grandmother, I guess, as an echo of her age, and what effects she had on her daughter, and then how that then snowballed onto her. So it is like an ongoing, almost hereditary thing. So yeah, it's weird. Like, her mum was almost born for the sake of killing. Like, her mum was made for the sole purpose of killing someone that the mum wasn't strong enough to kill.
Oh, lovely.
So when you've got that, and then you realise, oh, like, I don't really have a purpose, or I haven't really got, like, you know, I'm just here as a killing machine. What am I going to do after? You're not going to have a need for me. That obviously sparked a lot of problems. And then I wanted to go back into that mum's past and then show why she's like that as well. So it's a very twisted family, but it shows for some really great character development, because you've got this character that, as the customer or the guest or the audience is exposed to this this person, they go, well, this person's pure evil, and then you go back and you go, oh, do you know what? No, it's kind of justified. Like, I can see how this person got there. Like,
justified?
Well, the character development almost goes backwards, and actually you find out in the prequels and stuff, when she's acting a little bit more humane, that actually she's not really the worst of them. Like, she could have turned out so much worse. And actually she's just a little bit crazy. Victim of
her family, basically.
Yeah, literally just a victim of her parents' upbringing and the grandparents' upbringing. Yeah, and it's kind of just had an ongoing ripple effect.
Oh dear. Yeah, see, I can't say much about Volume 3 because I don't want to spoil it. So
yeah, I'm only saying this stuff because this stuff is miles away from me, and it's vague enough that people won't necessarily know who it is. But it's such a strong kind of the characters that I don't get to do a full circle with. A lot of them have got some sort of prequel to fill the voids. Like, there's a lot of characters that are, I mean, there's one in particular that's very like mysterious, and he doesn't really let off much of his past. Yeah, and that kind of shapes him as a character, and he's a good guy. Like, you learn to like him, and you like this character that's created. And then I really wanted to go,
I'm gonna pull your heartstrings.
Good. Yep. So we're gonna go back and show you how much of a nasty piece of work this person was, or and completely like just change your perspective. If there's a cute character, it's probably going to be a horrible person when they grow up. If there's a really nice person, they probably came from terrible roots. And that is kind of like creating their full character arc, really. So probably got some sort of prequel written.
Yeah, no, that'd be quite cool to. I definitely would like to be a beta reader of that when it comes out.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the written works, so they're all coming out as novels as well. I'm part way through, so Echoville, which is technically season 1, is being done as one novel, so one book altogether. That's probably about halfway through at the moment. And I've started kind of writing pages for a few of these prequels, because I feel like the actual written work for these over the main storyline can be a lot stronger, because they're so new. I can kind of shape them written before I really start illustrating everything.
Yeah. So are you looking forward to Volume 3? Because you read the first two, haven't you?
Yeah, like I'm interested to see what happened. I need to reread 1 and 2 because I feel like I've forgotten. Since reading that, I've read every volume of My Hero Academia 1 to 18. So that's pretty much manga-wise. That's all I can remember right now is just My Hero Academia.
Oh yeah, I'll watch the anime of that.
Yeah, it's such a good manga.
Oh, and the anime as well. It's just the feels, man. It really gets to you as well.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm not a softie, I swear.
Yeah, the character development it's very slow in the show, but I think it's because they're really going for the long.
Yeah, but they're not just doing one character though, are they? They're kind of. It's like Naruto, isn't it? They're doing every character. Every character's going to get their time to grow, if you get what I mean.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they've already started. I mean, one of my favourite characters in the manga, without spoiling too much, I'm not going to say the name, but he started getting like his own separate kind of storyline happening at the same time, and it's great to see that they're investing so much in a character that's not even one of the main characters. Do you know what I mean? It's not even one of the main people in the classroom, but it's good to see.
It's almost like a return to Naruto without being Naruto, if you get what I'm saying. It's like a return to that. It's like, and I think people have been waiting for a story like that for some time. I think.
Yeah, definitely, and I think even some of the villains you can relate to, like Stain, like as cliche as it sounds, like the guy's got a point.
Guy did have a strong point. I think for him, that's what made him such an effective villain. It
wasn't that he was strong or that his quirk was powerful, because I mean, he could do some damage with that stuff, but his main thing was his his ideals and how strong he was with them, and
how much people could strongly relate to it. It's like it was pretty. Like I have to say, I found him pretty fucking terrifying.
But they even make it. I mean, Endeavour is such a brilliant example that you can be a hero and not be a nice guy.
Yeah.
Because it is just a profession.
Yeah.
So, it's just. I mean, you can relate it to real life. You see all these kids that want to be footballers, and a lot of them want to be footballers because they know that footballers get ridiculous money.
Yeah, exactly.
And they want to play football, and it's like these people that go, yeah, well, I've got a strong quirk. I want to be, I want to kick some ass and get paid some good money.
Yeah.
And being a hero actually gives you that opportunity. So there's a lot of people that are in it for the wrong reasons. I think Endeavour's one.
Yeah, Endeavour was definitely one of them. And Endeavour's a fucking arsehole.
I feel like there's still so much that can be done to his arc. Like, recently he started kind of like seeing what he's doing wrong, and now obviously, like, spoilers, that the symbol of peace is not really around, not a hero anymore. Like, he's kind of stepped up and taken that place, and he's wondering why people don't like him. Well, I'm the #1 hero, this is what I wanted. And he realised, actually, no, like, he doesn't get the praise that All Might gets because he's not that person. He's not, he's not earned that praise. This is what he was doing the whole time. And he says to him, like, what am I missing? What am I doing wrong?
Yeah.
And he kind of starts having this reflection of like, oh, like, that's really what it means to be a hero. I've had this wrong the entire time.
Yeah.
So, I mean, even with his kids, I mean, he practically, did a
conditioned his kids
marriage, didn't he? So he did a quirk marriage so he could make sure that the kids had like the best quirks and stuff. So that's quite selfish on its own.
Yeah, that's what I mean. And like, to see characters grow from a selfish ass to hopefully a decent person. Oh wow, I'm actually impressed with that. Sorry, can I rub that out? Yeah, no, the lights came out a lot better than I thought it would, beaming down wise. But should it be a bit more zeroed down? Yeah, it should be, shouldn't it?
Sorry?
I'm asking myself a question. It should be a bit more zeroed down. Not hard light. I want adjective. I've just said to myself that light should be a bit more zeroed down because it's beaming downwards, isn't it? And I'm going from a top perspective, so it should be a bit more like that. Look like UFOs attacking the cafe. mini UFOs are attacking the cafe. Now that would be a funny D&D storyline. These aliens keep taking my coffee pots. Sorry. Go on.
So you do this all in colour and then you grayscale it after, or?
Actually, no. When I do the manga itself, I actually grayscale first.
Oh, so this one isn't for the manga?
No, this is just concept art.
Oh, I see.
I do.
You're doing all this colour and then you're going to turn it black and white. That's a lot of effort.
Yeah. No, I just do all grayscale away. And I think someone said one of my strongest strengths, I know how to grayscale quite well. For someone who's guessing colours.
You can always flick between saturate and desaturate as well on these.
True.
So you can always double test it.
But I think I've gotten used to it because I know it's not about the colour, it's about how saturated the colour is. If I know I'm going for a darker colour, I've got to go dark. And if I go for a lighter colour, I need to lean towards white. Because what people forget about grayscale, they colour it like they're doing colours. But really, they should be doing it how they're seeing tones. If you get what I mean.
Yeah, true, yeah.
So this would lean towards a lighter grey, the shirt on my... I'm not sure if you see me pulling the shirt on my camera.
Yeah.
And the cap, because it's black, you got black, and then you use more like really towards black things for the shine on them, if you get what I mean. So,
yeah.
So you got to see it from someone who's colourblind perspective. If you get what I mean. So they can't...
True.
You don't see colours, you just see tones. And I think great examples of that is if you watch videos like, what's that music video? All around me are familiar places. It's all grayscaled, isn't it?
Yeah, true.
That's a great example of how to use that and use the lighting for that. And Sin City is another great example, actually, I think. The comic and the movie. How they use their grayscale on that. So, but yeah. But this is... I can't believe we've got loads more time.
But you're gonna have to head into the garden.
Okay.
Before it gets too dark. I don't want it to start raining on me.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna make my way out there and get that sorted.
Right. All right then. Thank you for being on, Bo.
That's all right. Best luck with the rest of the image, and hopefully I can.
I think I'm done.
Maybe I can pop on and do a stream today, and maybe pop you into it. But
yeah, see if I'm available later, because I know I'm doing D&D tonight, so...
Gotcha, that's alright.
But...
Well, it'll be within the next couple of hours anyway, I just need to get the housework done, or it will never get done.
Fair enough. I think, honestly, I'm done.
Good stuff.
Which is quite weird. I thought this would take a lot longer. But, oh well. Anyway, see you later, bye. You have a good one. Alright then.
See you later.
Bye.
Take care.
Anyways, guys, that was Bo. Check out Echoville, or Echovile, I should say. Sorry, it's on Facebook, it's on Instagram. Bo Echo Lengthy Art as well. So please check him out. I'll probably slam the link on the YouTube video and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm practically done. This is the shortest live draw I ever done. So, and I was gonna ask Bo something before he left, but oh well. So. Yeah, is it saved? Wow, it's saved. So I'm going to show you what I've been up to before I leave, because, you know, I've done everything now, so I'm going to show you what I've been up to for the last, like, I would say few days. Because I'm starting to do chapter pages for Volume 4, and hopefully if people see this, they might want to collaborate with me on it. And the theme of it is my characters in different worlds. So what I've done is drawn characters, but in the style of the artists of the prospective mangas. So we got like, hold on, we'll close that now. So we got this one here where it's like Kaz, but drawn in a Yu-Gi-Oh setting, but not blatantly got it's Yu-Gi-Oh, if you get what I mean. Because obviously, if I'm going to sell this into my book, I need to kind of differentiate from Yu-Gi-Oh from us, like changing the design of dual disc and not having an iconic monster, but having my own made monster, stuff like that. And then we got one of my favourites, actually, Nikaya and James Vampire as Helsing characters. So I kind of imitated his style as well and stuff like that. And then we got a couple more. Hold on, let's oh, it's getting a bit dry. We got the Bleach one, which is Jess and Jasper. So as you can see here, I try to imitate the Bleach style. I've done like the Captain Coats, but changed it up a little bit. So I'm imitating the style, but not imitating the actual manga itself, if you get what I mean. So it's basically making strong references to that manga. And like I say, the theme is like characters in other worlds. And then one of my other favourites, the One Piece one, which I'm hoping someone will collaborate on this one in particular, because I think this one was a really fun one for me to draw. Looks a bit creepy, but you know, it got there. But yeah, so anyways, so what I do is I'm doing the outlines, and then what I would do is sort of, sorry, I'm about to sneeze. And then what I would do is literally sort of do that sort of thing. But anyways, guys, if you enjoyed everything you watched today, please give me a subscribe on the live stream. Subscribe to the Vamp the Lost Soul YouTube channel, Facebook, stuff like that. Support me via Patreon if you can, and I'll see you all guys later. Bye! If you enjoyed everything you've seen today, please buy volumes 1 or 2 of Vamp the Lost Soul manga. Links is down below. Volume 3 is coming out soon. And remember, the contest is ending soon at the 20th of this month. So please enter while you can. Also, if you want to vote on there, go on Patreon, and you get some many cool sort of other benefits to Patreon as well, like sneak peeks to my next volumes and much more. Anyways, if you want to send fan art, send it to vampthelostsoul@hotmail.com or hashtag me Twitter, Facebook and Instagram as hashtag VTLS fan art, and I'll see you all guys later. Bye.